Hey guys, what's going on? This is Coach Tom with the Strength Agenda. I wanted to talk to you today about meet prep in particular for us, the last 2 weeks of our Peak and Taper program and how I get athletes ready for competitions. Seeing to it that we just had the Reno Masters Nationals. We had great success with our team. I was kind of talking to a bunch of the other coaches in between sessions, or we were watching sessions and stuff like that. And it was just kind of interesting to hear the different thoughts and processes that went into getting athletes ready. A couple of coaches were really interested in how I did it, so I figured I'd make this video and share with how we go about that. First and foremost, before I get into the nuts and bolts of the individual heavy days, I want to make sure that folks understand that I have athletes track 2 metrics when we are getting into our peak and taper. The first one that we are going over is we are tracking the heaviest lifts that they've made with 0 misses. As I've talked about in previous videos, one of the biggest things I'm a proponent of is making sure athletes are not just maxing out aimlessly and taking 10 attempts at a weight. In a competition, you only get 3 attempts, so I want them training for the meet in particular and conditioning themselves for the meet, not just hitting a heavy lift. The second component that we focus on is the heaviest they've made with 3 attempts. As I just mentioned, you only get 3 attempts in a meet. So when athletes are going heavy during this time period, I want them tracking the heaviest they made with no misses and the heaviest they made with 3 misses. And that'll help us determine where our opener is. So like the nuts and bolts of the last 2 weeks, 14 days out from the competition, I want the athletes to do a heavy total day. That is both the snatch and the clean and jerk. They are going to a heavy single in the snatch, tracking their heaviest with no misses and their heaviest with 3 misses. And then they will give themselves about a 5-10 minute break. And then they will go and do the same thing for the clean and jerks. And then 10 days out, I have the athletes do the same thing, but it's only a heavy clean and jerk day. And then usually the snatch work looks something like 5 singles at like 80% or something along those lines. 7 days out, flip it around. They were going to a heavy single in the snatch with about a couple of singles at the 80%, 85% or so in the clean and jerk. And so after those 3 days are complete, I like to have a meeting with the athletes of some sort, whether it's over text, phone call, FaceTime, whatever. And we go over during prep. I take whatever their best that they've hit in a competition, because as I've said before, practice doesn't count. And so I want to know what the best in their competition is, the heaviest they made during this prep with 3 misses, the heaviest they made with no misses. And I kind of average that out and look to determine their opener, because 5 days out from the competition, I have them take their opener as well. And so the number that I use in terms of percentage wise, I got from Dave Spitz from Cal Strength, and that's 92.5%. But depending on the athlete and their consistency, that number can range as low as 90% all the way up to 95%. But that's usually how I determine it. So 14 days out, we're doing a heavy total day. 10 days out, a heavy clean and jerk day. 7 days out, a heavy snatch day. 5 days out, we're hitting openers. And this isn't something that I came up with. I actually got this from Don McCauley when he was one of our coaches at Muscle Driver USA back in the day. And when he mapped out how he likes this done and implemented it, and I saw that I had more consistency at meets with this method versus how we did things with Glenn, that I stuck to it, and I've been implemented it with my athletes. The only twist that I've added is the tracking the 2 different metrics. So when you're getting ready for a competition, at the bare minimum 2 weeks out, use this method. We've had a ton of success with this method over the course of the years, and it's foolproof. It's going to give you a great gauge on where you're at as an athlete, and it's also going to allow you to gradually decrease not only the intensity, but the overall tonnage that you're lifting, so your athlete is ready to go come game day. So hopefully this helps everybody out. And as always, see you guys on the platform, and happy lifting.